Family's statement was already all over Eris Hill, spreading like wildfire through the city's elite. No one could believe that the Smith family, the most powerful family in Eris Hill, would publicly take on the Wells family. This was shaping up to be some serious drama. When Theodore and Honor heard the news, they practically lost their minds on the spot. What is wrong with him? At yesterday's birthday party, it was one thing for Mr. Smith to be mad at Roman. Sure, they had their private disagreements, and they could have sorted it out later when things cooled down. But now, the old master was openly challenging the Wells family. That was basically a public declaration of war, turning them into sworn enemies. The father and son duo wondered what could have possibly driven the old man to do this. Even if they wanted to get on Charlie's good side, they didn't have to completely burn their bridges with the Wells family, right? Now the Wells family would probably come after the Smith family at every turn. And not only that, with the old master pulling a stunt like this, the chances of Warnia and Bradley getting together were practically zero. The Wells family was furious when they got the news. They already had enough on their plate, and now Mr. Smith was suddenly declaring that his family would fight them to the bitter end. This just made the Wells family's situation even worse. The Wells family had enough problems to deal with, and now the Smith family was suddenly coming out against them, which naturally just made the Wells family even more agitated. Bernard was still laid up in his hospital bed. Roman ordered his entire family not to tell his father about the Smith family's statement. At the same time, he decided to ignore the Smith family for now and not respond to their public challenge. Right now, the Wells family's reputation had taken a huge hit. Even though they were still the reigning family, the news that they had crossed the Wade family of Eastcliff was already causing major ripples. Before, nobody knew who the Wells family had ticked off. All they knew was that social media was flooded with stand-up comedy routines that relentlessly mocked their family, featured right on the main page. Then, earlier today, when the news broke that the Wade family had acquired the social media platform, everyone immediately put two and two together. It turned out the Wells family had offended the Wade family. The families that used to be close with the Wells family started distancing themselves. The main reason was that the Wade family was just too powerful, and nobody wanted to get caught in the crossfire by being associated with the Wells family right now. As a result, the Wells family was suddenly on the back foot. With so many other families cutting ties with them, their overall power and influence took a serious blow. At this point, the Wells family had no energy to pick a fight with the Smith family. After all, they had a much bigger problem on their hands. Charlie. Warnia drove up to the mansion, and Orville rushed out to greet her. Seeing the tall and handsome Charlie next to the beautiful and graceful Warnia, Orville couldn't help but think to himself, now that's what you call a power couple. With Warnia's beauty and sophistication, you probably couldn't find anyone in the whole country who could compare to her. Orville respectfully led Charlie and Warnia to the diamond box. The old man, Mr. Smith, had been waiting there for a while. As soon as he saw Charlie walk in, Mr. Smith quickly stood up, bowed, and said, "Mr. Wade, you're here! Please, take the head of the table." Charlie smiled slightly. "Mr. Smith, you're our elder. You should be at the head of the table." "How could I do that?" Mr. Smith said quickly. "Mr. Wade, in my eyes, you're a true prodigy. The head of the table naturally belongs to you." Warnia quickly added, "Mr. Wade, Grandpa has the utmost respect for you. Please, take the seat." Charlie paused for a moment, then nodded. "Well, if you insist." With that, he sat down at the head of the table. Just then, Orville quickly said, "Mr. Wade, Mr. Smith, Miss Smith, please enjoy your dinner. I won't disturb you." And with that, Orville quietly slipped out of the private room. With just the three of them left in the room, Mr. Smith pulled a gold debit card from the pocket of his tailored suit. He held it out to Charlie with both hands. "Mr. Wade, I'm so grateful for the chance you gave me yesterday. Words can't express it. So I had this prepared for you. There's $1 billion on this card. It's just a small token of my appreciation. Please, accept it." Charlie glanced at the debit card. "I don't need the money. You should take this back." He was telling the truth. He had over $20 billion in cash, but he didn't have any real opportunities to spend it. Mr. Smith insisted. "I know you're not a man who's short on money, but last time you bought that ancient elder root for a sky-high price of $100 million, all in cash. What if in the future you need to buy some other rare medicinal ingredients? What if you're a little short on funds at that exact moment and miss out on something special? You'd regret it. So please take the money, just to be prepared." The truth was, Mr. Smith had a slightly selfish motive for giving Charlie the money. He knew Charlie had used the premium wild elder root to make that rejuvenation pill, and he himself had been blessed by heaven's grace because of it. He figured if he gave Charlie more money, maybe Charlie could buy more rare ingredients and create even better medicines. If that happened, wouldn't he have another chance to earn Mr. Wade's favor? So he stood up, then dropped to one knee, holding the debit card in his hands. "Mr. Wade, this is just a small gesture from me. Please, you must accept it, or I'll have to stay kneeling right here." Charlie quickly helped him up, offering a small smile. "If you're going to be like that," he said, "then I'll accept it." "Wonderful!" Mr. Smith stood up. He said to Charlie, "If you ever need money in the future, Mr. Wade, or if there's anything else the Smith family can do to help, you just have to say the word. I will do everything in my power to make it happen." Charlie nodded slightly. "That's very generous of you, Mr. Smith." "Not at all," Mr. Smith said with obvious delight. "I'm the lucky one to have been given this incredible opportunity by you, Mr. Wade. Naturally, I hope I can do more for you and repay your kindness someday." Then Mr. Smith quickly added, "By the way, Mr. Wade, the PIN for this card is Warnia's birthday, 12/01/95. Charlie looked over at Warnia and asked curiously, "Warnia, is your birthday on December 1st? Warnia quickly stood up, gave a slight bow, and said respectfully, "Mr. Wade, yes, that's right. I was born on December 1st. Charlie nodded. "Then your birthday's less than a month away." "Yes." Warnia nodded nervously, then asked hesitantly, "Mr. Wade, I'm thinking about having a birthday dinner then, and I was wondering if you would have time to come." After she finished speaking, her eyes were fixed on Charlie's face, anxiously waiting for his answer. Charlie thought for a moment, then nodded and said, "Since it's your birthday, of course I'll be there to celebrate with you. Just tell me the location." Warnia was overjoyed and quickly bowed again. "Thank you, Mr. Wade." Charlie said, "Warnia, we're about the same age, so you don't have to be so formal with me." Warnia nodded slightly and said softly, "Okay, Mr. Wade, I understand." After dinner, Charlie turned down Warnia's offer to give him a ride home. He said his goodbyes to her and Mr. Smith outside the mansion and walked over to a Bank of America nearby. Once he was at the bank, he transferred $998 million from the card Mr. Smith had given him. After moving the money to his own account, there were only $2 million left on the card. He took that card and headed home. At home, Jacob and Elaine had just finished their takeout. When she saw him walk in, Elaine rushed over. "So, how'd it go? Did you make any money?" she asked. Charlie nodded. "I made a little." "How much is a little?" Elaine demanded. "Just hand it over." Charlie just pulled out the bank card and said, "There were $2 million on this card." $2 million? Elaine's eyes went wide. Excited, she snatched the card from him and blurted out, "You're not messing with me, are you? There's really $2 million on this card?" "That's right," Charlie said calmly. "I checked it at the ATM. It's definitely $2 million. "Awesome!" Elaine cheered. $2 million! This would more than make up for all the money she'd lost. The thought of going to the beauty salon with her friends, setting up a poker game, and maybe even finally living in a villa at Thompson. It was all so exciting. She held the bank card tightly, staring at it for a moment. Finally, she looked up and asked, "Is there a PIN for this card?" Charlie nodded and said, "Yeah, there's one." He was about to tell her, but then he caught himself. Something wasn't right. Wait, didn't Elaine say yesterday that Dad would be in charge of the money from now on? How does she have the nerve to ask for the password? Thinking about this, Charlie quickly turned to Jacob, who was standing nearby. "Dad," he said, "didn't you say yesterday that you'd be handling all the money in the house from now on?" That snapped Jacob back to reality. He suddenly remembered. That's right. I'm in charge of the money. I should be the one controlling those $2 million. He quickly got up, crossed the room to Elaine in just a couple of steps, and said firmly, "Give me the card." Elaine instinctively hid the card behind her back. She looked at Jacob cautiously and asked, "What are you doing?" Jacob said coldly, "You just said yesterday that I'd be in charge of the money, so shouldn't I be the one holding the card?" Elaine stammered, "I'm not trying to keep it. I just wanted to make sure it's like Charlie said, that there's really $2 million on it." Then she added, "Honey, let's be honest. You're a man, and managing money carefully can be, well, tricky. Why don't you let me handle the family's finances? How about that?" Jacob's anger flared. "Elaine," he snapped, "you said that just last night. It hasn't even been 24 hours and you're already going back on your word?" Elaine tried to explain. "Oh, that's not what I meant at all." "Then what did you mean?" Jacob shot back coldly. "I'm telling you, you are not managing the money from now on. If you insist on it, then we're going straight to a lawyer to file for divorce, right now." Elaine was taken aback. As much as she wanted that $2 million, she knew Charlie hadn't told her the password. Holding on to the card was pointless if she couldn't actually get the money. So she angrily handed the card to Jacob. Then she turned her head and shot Charlie a furious glare.